Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another Legends of Runeterra card reveal. My name is Zayden Blaze and here we go with the reveals. We have... Come on cards, load in. There we go, thank you very much. We have an 8 mana burst spell for Targon that's called Destiny's Call. And it's grant an ally in hand +8/+8. Okay, so this is like that Tryndamere spell. I don't remember what it's called. Honestly, it's the 8 Battle Fury, something like that, which gives +8/+4. But this gives +8/+8 in hand. So this is definitely a hand buff card. Wow, who would have thought? Only question is, what does it exactly, what kind of deck exactly wants to run this card? That's the real question. I mean, I'd guess something in Ionia, because they already have a Greenglade Elder as their hand buff, and Sown Seeds as their hand buff. But Destiny's Call, who would you even buff with this? Arbiter of the Peak? Maybe? I mean, you can all fuck my life. Words, English, dumb motherfucker, use them. The soonest you can cast this card is on turn 5 if you have free spell mana saved up. And in Targon, who would you even want to buff this? Zoe? Nobody in Targon has Overwhelm, as far as I remember. Diana, no. Leona, no. Taric, no. Aurelion Sol, no. Zoe, no. They don't have Overwhelm, so you'd have to put this on an Overwhelm or Elusive unit, which Zoe would be the best target. Moving on. Star-Tipped Peak. It's a 2-mana landmark, yet another one. For Targon. Countdown 2. Create 2 random celestial cards that cost 3 or less in hand. I like this. Even though it's random, it's still you still generate 2 free cards for 2 mana. Even though it's a cooldown of 2, but it's, it is a cooldown countdown of 2. So the opponent might not have the time to get rid of it even. Or even if they do have a way to get rid of it, sometimes they just might decide not to because their own game plan is more important than stopping yours. So I like this. This is nice. Also helps with definitely helps with behold cards that want to see celestial cards, like they obliterate everything with 3 or less power. 4 mana, burst spell, Lost Riches for Bilgewater. Draw a treasure. If there aren't any to draw, create 2 treasures in your deck and oh boy, this is a deep card. This is a deep dark card. Interesting, because you don't really want actually is this a deep card? It can't be. Because if you play Shipwreck Hoarder in Deep, you obviously do, he creates treasures in your deck. But if you toss them with something like the 4 mana draw spell, if you toss them, you get them in your hand for free. So you don't need to run this card. You really don't. You just put this in your deck randomly. Then we have Loaded Dice. I don't know if you really want to play with a 4-sided die. Fuck. God damn it, my microphone fell over. Either way, 4 mana slow speed for Bilgewater. For the rest of the round, when you damage the enemy Nexus Nab. What the fuck? This is strong. This is unnecessarily strong. For the rest of the round, when you damage the enemy Nexus Nab 1. this is unnecessarily strong. If you have stuff like Misfortune, her 1-drop, the one who has the active ability of dealing 1 to the enemy nexus. If you have the Noxian 1 mana 2/1, the Saboteur, whatever, then you can get a lot of procs off of this. Not to mention if you have any elusives as well. You could definitely nab a whole lot of cards with this. God damn. You could probably steal half of your enemy's deck somehow. I mean, they have 20 health, so maximum you could ever nab is 19, but you know what I mean. Shadow Apprentice, 1 mana Ionia, elusive. When I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 if an ally has Ephemeral. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So this is obviously meant to be played together with Hecarim. Because no one else really in Ionia cares about ephemeral cards other than Ren Shadowblade, who creates Shadow Fiend when he strikes, which is a 1 mana for free. But like, Ionia doesn't care about ephemeral. Only one who cares is Zed, and that's only if you have, and that's only with his own shadows. No other ephemerals matter to him. So this obviously has to be played with Hecarim and the Shadow Isles ephemeral cards, no doubt about it. Next we have a 4 mana 1/4 Field Musician. He also has a tune. We didn't see a tune in a while. Each round, once you've summoned 3 other allies, refill your spell mana and draw 1. Okay, that's interesting. That is very interesting. He acts more like a landmark than anything else, to be honest. But keeping him alive and summoning 3 allies every single round to get his effect, that's not easy. That's so not easy. I mean, maybe you can play this with like Heimerdinger, who can cast his turrets quite easily, because they're all 0 mana once you create them if you cast a spell. So that would be the easiest way to summon stuff for the Field Musician's effect to activate. So is this Ionia? Hello there. I'm making a video. Please do not do that. So, with all of that being said, I think this card definitely plays with Heimerdinger the best. I think that's what you're meant to play him with. Then we have Production Surge, a 0 mana slow Piltover card. To play, spend all your mana, so like Thermo Beam. Summon random turrets whose total cost equal the mana spent. Oh boy. So that's really random, because if you cast this with 4 mana, let's say you have 4 mana. If you cast this, you could get 4 1 mana turrets, or you could get 1 4 mana turret. Honestly, this is too random to be played around. I don't see this actually being good, honestly. So I don't know who'd even play this. I mean, I guess it's okay if you like have an empty board and you don't have any other units, but like, is that really worth it? Anyway, moving on to another 1 mana slow speed Piltover card, Concurrent Timelines. For the rest of the game, the first time you play a follower each round, pick one of 3 followers with the same cost to transform it into. Ooh, this is interesting. It doesn't even have to be from your regions, I assume. It doesn't say so, and we don't know for sure until we actually play the card. But this is definitely interesting. You could get a lot of good options the first time you but you have to play a follower. You can't just summon it like with the Production Surge. So that's important to know. That's very important to know. I mean, you could definitely. I don't know. Heimerdinger would always be good with this, right? Because it is a follower, and Heimerdinger's turrets are followers. So if you get the 1 mana 1/1, or the 2 mana 2, well, they're all 0 mana the turn they are created. Does that count? Would they transform into a random, give you a random 0 mana follower as an option? Interesting things to think about, I think. Yes, I think a lot. Then we have another Crimson, a 1 mana 1/2 Crimson card. Crimson Bloodletter. It's a kitty cat who has more fur on her fur. Interesting. And an interesting tongue as well. What the fuck? That's like a lizard, man. The next time you summon another ally, deal 1 to it and grant me +1/+1. Well, that's interesting. Well, the Crimsons get a 1-drop, and you have an easy way to proc the Crimson effects. For like the Crimson Keeper, Crimson... I can't remember their names. It's been such a long time since I played with them. From the fat guy, the girl who damages one guy to give it +2/+0. Then you have the Aristocrat, the 2/3, and Crimson Awakener, the 4 mana 5/5, which is very interesting. You could definitely play this in Crimson decks, but you need more than just this card to fix the Crimson archetype. Then we have a 8 mana slow spell Noxian. Strength in numbers. It's slow, it summons 2 Legion Marauders. So if you really, really, really want to play with Legion Marauders, this is the card for you. Because for each attack, they gain +1/+1 in stats, and you have to somehow keep those fuckers alive, and I have no clue how you're gonna do it. So they are free 2s, free attack, 2 health. So if you get this off and nothing happens, if you attack with just the two of those, you get 2 5 attack, 4 health units for 8 mana, which is nice, I suppose. And considering you probably by turn 8 at the very least played at least a few Legion Marauders, they're gonna be a lot bigger. So they're a huge beatdown strategy, but I don't know, they don't win you the game. Like they're like dragons. They don't win you the game. You need like Overwhelm with those kinds of stats, or Elusive for it to matter. So we'll definitely have to see where this will go. Then we have a 4 mana Spider, Shrieking Spider. And on attack, it grants Spider allies +1/+0. That's quite interesting. I haven't seen a Spider strategy in a long ass time. So, you have to put, if you have Elise and this guy on the same board, I think you have to put Elise before him, so that the Spider she summons gets the Shrieking Spinner. Yeah, it's a Shrieking Spinner, not a Spider. It's a Spider up here, but a Spinner here. Anyway, it has to, so it would get a buff from this if Elise is before him. Other than that, oh yeah, it's a grant effect too, so that's pretty important. And he buffs himself as well, so that's honestly good stats for the cost. I like it. Then we have a 3 mana 3/2 Spider from the Shadow Isles. He's a Soul Spinner. When I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 and Fearsome if an ally died this round. Okay, I can see this happening. Gives you a reward for blocking with your spiders early on. I like it. Pretty good. Then we have a sea monster. Oh, damn. A low-cost sea monster. 2 mana from the Shadow Isles, not Bilgewater. He's deep. When another ally dies or last breath, toss 1. What? Wait, this doesn't make sense. When another ally dies or last breath, toss 1. I think it's supposed to say like if you activate last breath, you toss 1. Because the way it's worded, it doesn't really make sense. Uh, then we have, I mean, yeah, you're tossing one and it helps you get deep even sooner than you already do, which is usually between, at the latest, from what I've seen, turn 7 is the latest you go deep. The earliest is like, at least the earliest I've seen is turn 5. Going deep. Deep as all fuck. Then you have a Noxian card, 1 mana 0 free. When you play a dragon, it strikes me and you draw one. Wait. Wait a second. Dragon Chow. Okay, I see what they are doing here. They're feeding the dragons. They're feeding these elephants to dragons. Because it has free health. The weakest dragon has 4 attack, including Shyvana, but she wouldn't get anything out of it because she doesn't have Fury. So let's say you play Protector White Flame. He gets +1/+1 in stats because he killed the Dragon Chow, and then you also get to draw a card. I see what they did there. The only thing is if you are able to keep this alive for when you actually play him. Because if you, the ideal position would be you drop this guy on turn 1, you don't block ever, you drop the Dragon Priestess turn 2, and then White Flame Protector turn 3, and then you have on turn 3 a 5/5 with Fury. I mean, that's the ideal scenario. So that's what you're aiming for, and you also draw a card, so that's what they really want. Then we have a 6 mana 7/7 Towering Stonehorn. I don't take damage from enemy spells or skills. Now this is what I thought would be Galio if they ever introduced him into the game. Like, you know, he's a giant fucking 100-ton gargoyle made of petrocite. Something that absorbs magic. I thought this was something you'd put on Galio. But no, apparently Towering Stonehorn. 6 mana 7/7 for Demacia, I mean, it works, I guess. It can still get stunned. So like Swine can still affect it. Not when he strikes the Nexus, but still. I don't know what you're really afraid of from this. Yeah, Targon can still obliterate it, and or simply go over it with inspiration. What's up next? Ancestral Boon. 2 mana burst speed Freljord card. Grant the top ally in your deck +2/+2. Enlightened! Oh, they're playing with that again. Instead, grant all allies in your deck +2/+2. Okay. Okay, rewarding you for playing quick as fuck. Getting to that enlightened stage, as if you played 2 of those 5 mana 5/5s. I don't know what he's called. Nobody plays him anymore. But yeah, it's as if you played 2 of those. And I don't really see this being played much. Maybe if you somehow are able to predict Braum is on top of your deck and you grant him +2/+2, that would be good. But by the time you get to mana 10, it really just is all about game-ending effects, and +2/+2 is not a game-ending effect at all. Then we have a 3 mana burst speed Freljord card, Spoils of War. Grant an ally +1/+2. Plunder, grant +2/+4 instead. Ooh, I like this. Now this is something I'd play actually, because they have an Overwhelm card, the Raider, the 2 mana 3/1 with Tough and Overwhelm. So if you can have him on turn 2, save mana on 3, play Braum turn 4, challenge and hit face with the Raider dude, and grant Braum +2/+4, you're looking spicy good. And that's the end of these 17 goddamn cards. 17 of the fuckers. Okay, I'm gonna see if we can play something with Marauders somehow. Gonna have to do something with them. I'll try. You know I love my Noxus decks. So I'll definitely try something with them. And that's it for now. Well, I'm liking these cards. I honestly am. And I can't wait to see more of them with all of you together in the next one. Peace.